Okay, we're ready to continue installing the Vintage Air, and I am going to take these seats out. These are not stock 76 Corvette seats. They look like they're from about a 77, 78. There are 4 bolts holding the tracks and that the seats bolt to. The nut head, the size of the head of the bolt that I'm taking out is half-inch. So it's a half-inch socket I've got on there. These particular ones I have to use a ratchet because clearance is kind of minimal, and I don't think the power ratchet will actually fit in there and be able to, you know, as you loosen the bolt, it raises up on the ratchet. I don't think it would clear it. I think it would just get stuck in there. So there's one of the bolts. Looks like it's a chrome bolt. I doubt that was stock. There's going to be another bolt on the front on the other side. I feel coins. Found a nickel. Water bottle cap or a Coke bottle cap. Matches. From Wade's Booze and Burgers. It's a local establishment I'm familiar with. So that's not telling me anything about where this car has been, because wouldn't have been mine because I haven't smoked in many, many, many years. I can't see the bolt. I can barely feel it. I'm having trouble getting the wrench on it. Makes me wonder, since I'm having trouble getting the socket on it, if it's actually a half-inch or whether they've got different size bolts in here. Seat's all the way back. Go try another socket. Try 9/16. Let's see if I can get that one in on it. Try just the socket first without the wrench. That one doesn't want to seem to go on either. I have to get a flashlight and see if I can see something in there. I'm going to shut the camera off while I do that because all you see is my head anyway. It actually turned out it is a half-inch, but it's in there kind of cockeyed. So whoever put it in might have put it in crooked. based on these rails on this seat are made for some other car. I know I just replaced seats on my 74 Corvette, and I had to modify the rails in order to get them in. Worked out okay, except the seats are a little bit higher. I had to learn a new way to get in and out of the car, because the way I was doing it before just wasn't going to work because I'm a little bit too tall. But okay, there's another bolt, and there's a washer on this one. I didn't actually check to see if there was a washer on the first one. There's a washer on there, and it's kind of been bent into the hole in the frame. That's a little weird. If I can get this out, maybe I can show you. So now I'm going to move the seat forward. Let's see if I can get those back bolts out. Did not move very far. Yeah, these look like these are also 1/2 inch, and it looks like the weapon of choice to do this easiest is probably going to be a long extension. They look to be 1/2 inch heads on the bolts. So let me get my long extension. Actually, I have my shorter long extension on my power ratchet. Maybe that's long enough. Let's just do a test before we... Yeah, that should work. Maybe I should have gone and gotten a, you know what, I better check this. It's on Titan. We don't want to go that way, we want to go the other way. Different type of bolt from the fronts. Both the back bolts were the same. And now that seat ought to just lift out. I'm going to move the camera because I'm going to knock it over. Okay, now I'm going to go repeat that process on the other side. I don't think there will be anything different, but I'm going to video it just in case. And maybe without having to figure out what needs to be done, we'll see how quickly maybe we can do it. It's a different bolt from what was in the other side. Both of them on this side and the back were the same, but different from the passenger side. This one, for some reason, looks like it's got a little more room for a power wrench. Let's see if we can use it. That's the same type of bolt that was in the rear on the passenger side. And one last bolt if we can get to it with the power wrench. It's the Braille method here. That one wasn't even tight at all. Oh, there it is. It's still in the wrench. Same as the rear on the passenger side. So I found a total of 17 cents on the passenger side. I wonder what treasures the driver's side has for me. Took a little bit to get over here to shut the camera off because I'm putting them in the Jeep. I'm running out of places to store things here again, so I'm putting them in the Jeep and taking them up to the garage. One final note on the seat removal, as I usually do, I am putting the bolts back into the holes where they bolt seats into. That way whenever it comes time to put seats back in, I won't be looking for bolts. So I'm going to put these things back in, the bolts back in. I suddenly realized why those bolts in the back of the driver's side were longer, different bolts. They had these two things. There was two under each one, so there's 4 of them. And then there was also a flat washer back there. And the bolt went down through this. This was on, well, I don't know. I don't know if that was on top of or below the seat mount. Well, I'll have to resolve that whenever the seats get installed, and maybe I won't even need these, but I've never seen washers like this. It's almost like it's a washer and spacer built into one. It's very interesting. But I'm going to put them under the screws that were in there The reason I discovered that is because I was going to put the short screws that matched the rear screws on the passenger side in the back. And then I realized that they needed longer screws in order to put these things in. So I'll put them in and figure it out when I install seats.